mis amores, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están haciendo? So, we got to cover this Katt Williams interview. I love me some Katt Williams. Like, I don't know. I just always liked him. I feel like he's one of the very, very few non-existent people that has done everything in his power to hold on to who he is in the midst of Hollywood and all of that grossness that happens over there. And he's freaking hilarious. Like, freaking hilarious, right? Like, literally. So, he shook the internet with this interview, y'all. I wish I could have covered it sooner, but the internet is shook. And I have to tell you, I believe everything that he says. For years and years, Katt Williams has been trying to warn us about people like Will Smith. He's been trying to warn us about the industry. He's been, he's been warning us about, I think he even warned us about Dusty Dee, and now look, everything is coming out in the open. When for years and years, Katt Williams has been saying this. He's been telling us that they mess around with little kids over there in Hollywood, that the biggest stars get off of messing around with little kids over there in Hollywood and seducing women and little kids over there in Hollywood. He's been saying it, y'all. So just to see the fact that, like, he's been right, there's no way. Like, everything he says, I'm kind of like, yep, I believe that, because it sounds believable. Like, with everything that's been coming out, like, this definitely sounds just about right. But let's take a look at this interview, y'all. This interview is super crazy.
Friday after next, the one I was in, I wish all of America fumbled a bit when that happened. And then he said some stuff that we haven't heard in 100 years in Hollywood. You ain't say nothing. This man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike, and Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now three quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp.
So y'all go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. Oh yeah, thank you so much. And leave it in the comments below what your thoughts are.
Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let an athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats.
Dang. Why has he only played mostly women in his stuff? I guess that's a good question. I think that's a valid question. A lot of Black Hollywood, especially the males, end up playing a lot of women roles, and I think that's very, very interesting.
The Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom, and that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Katt Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we talk about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as funny as it would be with him getting raped. So considering that's the real story, why would you bring up that story?
Y'all, Hollywood is done for. Like, I don't see why anyone in 2024 would take anyone that's coming from Hollywood that hasn't, like, legitimately built themselves up any type of serious. Like, if you haven't put in the work yourself, like Katt Williams, I believe Katt Williams has put in the work for himself, and he's just really had to have the most solid boundaries that I've ever seen, the most solid standards one of the most solid standards I've ever seen. And he didn't say yes to everything and anything just because it came with a big paycheck. But all these black males in Hollywood are really willing to do anything. I mean, look at Dusty Dee. The way Dusty Dee came up wasn't because of talent, because he wasn't really talented. Dusty Dee wasn't talented at anything. It's because he was doing all that stuff behind the scenes, on his knees for other males, getting in relationships with other males, assuming women, assuming kiddos, allegedly. So y'all, crazy.
Everything that Money Mike said, Katt Williams wrote. So what Ricky Smiley say on his? You can't say my lines, I wrote them. That's how I already know that I'm going to be funnier than you. What he told everybody was Katt Williams, and don't nobody know who he is? I'm on the egregious, not now. Then he was so egregious that, and Hollywood has never heard this in 100 years. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract. Why would you put that in your computer's kid?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. You see, real men, they just go out and they like, it's like other males that do them wrong, they have to get demolished. Imagine having like the innate satisfaction of knowing that you brought this dude down from wherever he thought he was sitting on, and Katt has just now mentioned it, because this dude kept mentioning and bringing Katt's name up, talking about, oh, he was the one that was supposed to be in the role and da-da-da-da. And it's like super annoying when people do that, because the amount of work that you probably put in to the job that you were doing, the amount of sweating and hard work and labor and maybe even sleepless nights, and then someone wants to come out here and start talking nonsense, someone that has no idea what you had to go through to get to where you're at once. So it's just like frustrating, right? Like, it's annoying. So I see why he's so upset about that. But it's so funny to me that he put that in his contract and they make the guy wear a dress. I bet you the guy doesn't even know that that's what happened. He just said, oh yeah, I'll wear a dress. That's cool. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So crazy.
Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women. And I believe that the best actor should be in the best role. So that's why
I agree. We all know about Tyler Perry. Allegedly, Tyler Perry could ever play a woman. He could never play a man's role. And allegedly, he's not even straight. Allegedly, he's gay. So it makes sense to me.
Now, he can't sing, can't dance, and doesn't write jokes. He did 4 comedy specials. They're so bad, Shannon, they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. Can I say that again for the audience? They're so bad that they're not available on Netflix or Tubi. You don't think Sam's a good comedian? The world doesn't think that, sir. I have 12 comedy specials. He has 4 specials that are not available on Netflix or Tubi. It seems to me, Katt, that you had a lot.
Yeah, Cedric the Entertainer hasn't really ever been funny to me. I don't know. Didn't he have a show at some point? He had some show. I can't remember. But yeah, I believe it. I've never seen him on Netflix, but that is so funny to me. Oh my gosh, y'all, that's so funny.
Faison said that getting a Netflix special is easy. I have 12 specials. Guess how many Faison got? 0. So why is he allowed to have conversations about real stand-up people? We do not let people who are on the juice discuss real athletes. That's all. As a journalist, that's all. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I don't harbor any resentment to any of these entities because I can't be jealous. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned, weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years, won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now, understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. How they...
What do y'all think? It looks like it's true to me. Shoot. They all get a wife that all look alike, that all look the same. Don't nobody know. I wonder why they give them this particular style when it comes to the wife that they get. I guess maybe because they believe that this is the preference amongst Black people, so they all get one that looks like that. Oh my God. I mean, y'all, it looks like he has proof to the stuff that he's saying. I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, listen, I'm looking at it and it's not looking too far off base. I don't know.
Was going to expose. When I talked about Michael Jackson, when I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another Black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't...
See, y'all, this is one of the things I love the most about Katt Williams. It's like, he's one of the very, very few people where I feel like, okay, this person's brain is functioning, right? Like, this is an individual whose brain is actually working. That's why it's like most of the things he says, I'm like, yup, sounds about right to me. So that stuff that he said, like I told y'all at the beginning, oh my gosh, I told y'all he had been calling out the CDD. Michael Jackson. I know y'all might really like Michael Jackson songs and stuff, but someone that has all of this stuff pursuing them, you know what I mean? You gotta raise your eyebrows at that. And then goes the extra mile to change the entirety of his skin color, and there's a lot of weird stuff there. That's not something that you're just like, oh yeah, that's a normal dude that's totally, completely innocent, most likely. Probably not. You gotta raise your eyebrows at that. Y'all, it's crazy.
Don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Oh, that's that's true. Because why would you take it the wrong way? If you not doing, oh no, oh my gosh, y'all. And he's right. Everything is coming out. Like everything. I've had a little bit more of a break, but that's because I kind of had to force it in because I've been having to put out video after video after video after video after video after video. Everything is coming out. And I really, really hope that the result of this is that the entire Hollywood crumbles. And like, I feel like, true people with true talent, like musicians, like they should be able to operate more like contractors. Less as like an industry thing, more like contractors. So the ones that really have the talent to build themselves are the only ones that end up making it based off of just talent.
Making $3,000 a show in cash and doing 5 shows a week. They just tell the stories. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that? You told us it was her. Then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store. In fact, a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading. No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast. Yeah, so how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe.
Yeah, it's so important in the checks and balances of the universe. And now we're seeing just how important it actually is. Like, literally so important in the checks and balances of the universe. Like, it's crazy. So he's right. I'm thinking back and I'm like, yeah, like, where did this guy come from? Calling himself Chocolate Drop. He's now caught in yet another cheating scandal. So obviously not a great person, not a good person necessarily, not behind closed doors. Cheated on his first wife allegedly with the current one. And the current one looks exactly like what Katt Williams described that they all get one of. So it's like he's connecting all the dots and offering real life proof. So it's not even something that we have to sit there and wonder, okay, but where's the proof, or the math ain't math. And it's like all the math is just falling into place and fully mathing. And he's giving us literally real world, real life proof. Like, where did he come from?
That liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you.
Yeah, I've always known about Katt Williams. And the only definition I could see that makes sense as far as him getting blackballed is, okay, Katt Williams said, no, I'm not going to do this role because you're offering this amount of money when you're trying to make me look dumb, or you're trying to make me look gay, and I know that I'm not gay. You know what I mean? Like, or I know this person and this person is literally in a suitor, or so I'm not going to work with them. And so, but Katt Williams is insanely successful. I mean, so blackball or not, I guess there was nothing they could do about it in his case. And I think, and he's so right. It's like, these people aren't powerful. They just try to give the illusion that they are to keep people in fear of power that they actually don't have. Because once everything is exposed and everything comes to the light, people are like, huh? That's what you've been doing? No thanks. So they actually have no real power. It's not like they can force people to like them or blah, 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 blah. Especially when the actual truth comes out, y'all. Crazy. Oh my God, this year is already getting to a crazy, oh my God, the crazy start.
That's how a legacy is built. So all of these shortcut takers, they canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, there's 3 other black guys on there. Woo. Huh.
You wonder what they did.
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk...
Right. We don't even want to know what they did. Harvey Weinstein? Yeah. See, I told you, like, Katt Williams has been exposing and talking about these people for the longest. So it's not even like everything he says is not on record. It's not even like we can't prove that he is everything that he seems to be. Because he's been outing these people for the longest. So it's not even like, you can call him a liar. You can't call him none of that stuff because it's all on record. So he said he got there and he said, no thanks, but what did y'all have to do? Oh my God, Hollywood is horrible. It's like, if you're not on Katt Williams's like vibe, why even bother? Like, you're just gonna end up joining that seemingly satanic whatever that's happening over there. Crazy.
The woods. What? It ain't weed or nicotine. You won't see me touching it. I don't want no parts. I done seen what these things can do to people. Anything that take over your free will is the devil itself.
So yeah, y'all, if you haven't watched the whole interview, I'd highly encourage you to do that. This is an interview that's really going to go down in history, I believe. And what Katt Williams has done is he's built a whole legacy for himself, which is crazy. A lot of people in the comments, I was reading through the comments as usual, where, some people were saying like, well, how can he say that he used to read 8 books a day, which would be about 3,000 books a year? That's not possible. He got into college by the age of 7. How's that possible? But the one thing that they never contested and that I didn't even see could be contested and didn't see anyone even try to contest in the comment section, everything that he said about Hollywood, because he has receipt upon receipt over the years of all the atrocities that actually happen in Hollywood, and he's always talked about it. He's always done his best to stand up for the truth, and he's always outed these people. And now that we are now in the age of truth and exposure, it's all coming out, y'all. So anyway, and then alternatively to those comments that I was seeing, one thing is clear: Katt Williams, I mean, this is a legacy that he has literally already built his legacy. He could literally chill, retire. The legacy is there. And he literally just solidified it with this interview. I don't see why anyone would question that he moved out and left his home by the age of 13. That is totally believable. That happens every single day, especially within Black families and Black homes that are so deeply rooted in these religious fractions and mentality that oftentimes don't even make sense as far as trying to bring up a child within those unrealistic weird expectations, unhealthy expectations. So he talks a lot about that as well. As far as how many books he read, who knows? Because I know when I read, I'm not counting how many books I read for the day or for the year, right? And so I'm guessing he probably just threw a number out there, with the point being that he used to love to read, and he read a lot of books, and he was a really smart guy, right? I don't know what the requirements were for getting into college during that time period or whatever the case may be. But I'm not even going to spend my time trying to contest him on these points, because ultimately this is a smart guy that we're dealing with. That much I can see. And I think one of the biggest aspects of this interview is how he doubled down on his exposure of all of the delinquencies that happen in Hollywood, especially Black Hollywood, particularly Black Hollywood. And so I love that we're entering into an era where we're no longer putting on pedestals these celebrities and these stars, and it's like we're seeing through them, and that was already happening, right? Like entertainers and famous people were already taking a back seat when influencer culture started, and now they're becoming non-existent, because quite frankly the majority of Hollywood, at least 90% of Hollywood, actually I would say it has to be higher than 90, it has to be like 90 to 98% of Hollywood, they are delinquents, allegedly. That's what I think. So y'all, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button for me. Oh yeah, thank you so much. And leave it in the comments below what your thoughts are on this particular issue. And I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye.